morning, dear students. Actually, little feeling unwell that due to some back pain, I'm going to take the class like this only today. Today and tomorrow also probably. From day after tomorrow onwards, we will go as usual on board. Okay, so for these 2 days, today and tomorrow only, just we go like this. Okay, it's not a big issue. I think some kind of my video is also coming there, I think, along with the screen. Let's start the session for today. The concept is mole concept in the solution. Molarity, mole concept in the solution. Kind of delay is observing. Right? Mole concept. In solutions. I think there is some lagging, you can see. Right. Mole concept in the solutions, that is the topic for today. Okay. First of all, what is meant by solution? What is meant by solution? Solutions means a homogeneous mixture. A homogeneous mixture. Homogeneous mixture of two or more components. Two or more components. If two or more components homogeneous mixture is there, then that kind of homogeneous mixture is called what? Solution. Homogeneous mixture means at the very beginning already I told you that if all the components of the mixture are completely thoroughly mixed, we cannot identify separately. For example, if sand is added or oil is added to the water, then you can find there is a two different phases. Whereas if you find sugar, if you add it to water, then once you dissolve the sugar in water, you cannot find sugar, you cannot find water. It's a sugar solution, it's a homogeneous mixture, thoroughly, intimately mixed. The intimate mixture, we can call it as homogeneous mixture. Okay, so homogeneous mixture of two or more components is called solution. Upon the number of components in it, we can have different type of solutions. First one is binary solution. Binary solution. Right? First one is a binary solution. Binary solution means if only two components are present. If only two components are present. Only two components are present in the mixture, then we can call it as a binary solution. Only two components. Okay, then what we can call it as binary solution. One component is known as, means actually larger quantity component. Larger quantity component. Larger quantity component is known as solvent. Okay, solvent. Smaller quantity, less quantity, smaller quantity component is known as solute. So these are the two components. These are the two components present in the binary solution. These are the two components. One component is known as a solvent, another component is known as a solute. Larger quantity is known as a solvent, smaller quantity is known as solute. Right? For example, if you dissolve salt in water, NaCl, into water, so we can call it as what? Salt is a solute, water is a solvent, because usually solvent is taken in larger quantity, salt is taken in lesser quantity. In exact statement, if you want to say, then one which dissolves the other substance in it is called solvent. The one which dissolves other substance in it is called solvent. The substance which is present in the dissolved state is called what? Solute. Okay. The substance which is
సార్ అంటే ఇప్పుడు ఒక యాసిడ్ బేస్ని రియాక్షన్ చేసినప్పుడు ఒక సాల్ట్ ఫామ్ అవుతుంది కదా సార్, దాని సొల్యూషన్ అనొచ్చా? అంటే ఎక్కువ లార్జ్ అమౌంట్ ఆఫ్ యాసిడ్ తీసుకొని కొంచెం బేస్ తీసుకొని కొంచెం సాల్ట్ ఫామ్ అయ్యి కొంచెం సొల్యూషన్ అనొచ్చు సార్ దాన్ని?
yes, it is a solution.
ఎందుకంటే మీరు
That is a definitely, yeah.
అంటే
That is a solution. Homogeneous mixture of two or more components is a solution. But only two components are there, that is binary solution. If two or more different components are there, we can call it as ternary, quaternary, or even higher. It's a solution, no doubt. It's a full solution.
అంటే సార్ ఇప్పుడు మీరు హోమోజీనియస్ మిక్చర్ అంటే
Okay.
అంటే సాల్వ్ అవుతాను కదా సార్ హోమోజీనియస్ మిక్చర్ అన్నారు ఇప్పుడు,
రైట్? అంటే ఒక ఫేజ్ అనమాట. హోమోజినియస్ మిక్చర్ అంటే ఇట్స్ మీన్స్ నథింగ్ బట్ ఓన్లీ ఫేజ్, ఓన్లీ వన్ ఫేజ్.
సార్ కానీ అక్కడ
One phase means once you are mixing two or more components in. If you are mixing two or more components in it, but only one phase is appearing in the mixture. Okay, that is called homogeneous mixture. All homogeneous mixtures are solutions.
సార్ మరి ఇప్పుడు నేను చెప్పింది అంటే సాల్ట్ కూడా ఫామ్ అవుతుంది కదా సార్, అంటే రెండు ఫేజ్లో వస్తుంది కదా?
ఫేజ్ లేరు అంతా కలిపి ఒక్కలాగా కనిపిస్తుంది. సాల్ట్ ని వేరేగాను వాటర్ వేరేగాను ఐడెంటిఫై చేయలేవు అక్కడ. ఎగ్జాంపుల్, శాండ్ డిజాల్వ్ ఇన్ వాటర్, add to water, you can clearly identify sand and water differently.
అంటే బాటమ్ లో
Okay, but sugar, salt అంతే ఐడెంటిఫై చేయగలిగారు కదా సాల్ట్ ని వాటర్ ని వేరు. అదే నువ్వు సాల్ట్ తీసుకో, సాల్ట్ వాటర్ లోకి వేసాక, ఓకే, యూ కెనాట్ హ్యావ్ ఎ ప్యూర్ వాటర్, యూ కెనాట్ హ్యావ్ ఎ ప్యూర్ సాల్ట్. Or solvent, salt separately, water separately cannot be appear in it. Even if you stir it, అంటే శాండ్ లోకి వేసి స్టిర్ చేసాం అనుకో, శాండ్ పార్టికల్స్ అనేవి ఇలా స్టిర్ అయ్యి ఉంటాయి, తిరుగుతూ ఉంటాయి వాటర్ లో. But still you can identify them because they are not mixed. Sand is not mixed with water. Whoever is completely, thoroughly, uniformly mixed, that is called what? Homogeneous mixture. Homogeneous mixtures are known as solutions. Okay. Right.
హలో సార్. సార్ ఒకసారి మళ్ళీ డెఫినేషన్ చెప్పరా?
Which definition?
అంటే ఇప్పుడు మీరు చెప్పారు కదా సైంటిఫిక్ డెఫినేషన్, ద వన్ విచ్ డిజాల్వ్స్ ద అదర్.
Solvent, right?
Yes sir.
Solvent means the substance, the one of the components in the mixture, which dissolves the other in it. The substance which dissolves other substance in it is called what? Is called what? Solvent. The substance which present in the dissolved state, the substance which is going to dissolve into the solvent or present in the dissolved state is called what? Solute. Solute. The substance which present in the dissolved state. The substance which present in the dissolved state is called what? Solute. The one which dissolves other substance in it is called solvent. The one which is actually dissolved into the solvent is called solute. So, for example, let us take an example. All right. The example is if we take sugar plus water. Sugar plus water. When you add sugar to the water, sugar is what? Solute. Okay. And water is a solvent. Because water is dissolving the sugar in it. Water is dissolving in the sugar in it. So the sugar is present in the dissolved state. Water is present in taken as a solvent. So water is dissolving the sugar in it. That's why we can take it as a solvent. And the solute is dissolving into the solution. That's why sugar is dissolving into the solution. Water is called, that is solute.
హలో సార్
Hmm.
సార్ రెండు గ్యాసెస్కి కూడా సొల్యూషన్ ఫామ్ చేస్తారా?
Yes. Yeah, we are going to discuss that on only. Now, based on the physical state, based on the physical state, based on the physical state of solvent, solutions can be classified as gaseous solution, liquid solution, and solid solution. Three types of solutions are there: gaseous solution, liquid solution, and solid solution. Three types of solutions are there, depend upon the physical state of the solvent. Three types of solutions: gaseous solutions, liquid solutions, and solid solutions. So my face is appearing right there.
Yes,
at the
sir.
bottom. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now, So what are the gaseous solutions? If the solvent is gas, then we can take it as gaseous solution. Solvent is liquid, we can take it as liquid solution. The solvent is a solid, then we can take it as solid solution. Sir, how solid can be a solvent? Yes, what I told you, larger quantity is solvent, smaller quantity we can take it as a solute. So the solvent need not to be a gas or liquid. Solvent can be a solid also, no problem. So again, the solutions, three solutions again can be classified into three types. The solutions again classified into three types. What? Each one is divided into three types. What is that? Gas in gas, liquid in gas, solid in gas. So in all the three cases, you see, it is gas only. That means this is what solvent. If the solvent is gas, then we can call it as what? Gaseous solutions. We can call it as gaseous solutions. Next. Again, liquid solutions also can be classified into three types. What is that? Liquid solutions also can be classified into three types. So how we can classify into three types? Gas in liquid, liquid and liquid, solid in liquid. Right? So the liquid solution is again classified into three types. What is that? Gas and liquid, liquid and liquid, solid and liquid. So in all these cases, the liquid is common. That is what? Solvent. Liquid is a solvent, gas is the solute. Gas into liquid, liquid into liquid, solid into liquid. So for these type of solutions, we have very familiar examples. For the very first one, if you take, gas and liquid type of solution, gas and liquid type solutions. For this, the example is gas and liquid type solutions. Example is soft drink, that is soda. Soda means carbon dioxide gas dissolved into water. Carbon dioxide water, the gas is dissolved into H2O liquid. So gas and liquid type, CO2 actually when you dissolve into water, it will form purely CO2 uniformly. CO2 will be distributed into the water uniformly. So in one area CO2 is more, in another area CO2 is less. That is not the case, is observed in that case. Okay, so CO2, if when you add it to water, then it will form a uniform homogeneous mixture. That is called what? Soda. Gas and liquid type of solution. Soda is a gas and liquid type solution. And then now liquid and liquid type solution. For this the example is ethyl alcohol, C2H5OH, ethyl alcohol liquid is added to water. Ethyl alcohol is added to water. Okay, so both are liquid, but alcohol is taken in less quantity, water is taken in more quantity. Therefore, ethyl alcohol is a solute, water is a solvent. Next, solid and liquid type of, for this plenty of examples we have. Solid and liquid type solutions, we have the plenty of examples. Okay, NaCl plus water. Okay, NaCl plus water, glucose plus water. Like so many examples, solids into water, solids into any liquid solvent, we can take it as solid in liquid type solutions. So similarly for remaining, tell me.
సార్ అంటే వీటిని కదా ఏరోసాల్ ఇవే మిక్స్చర్స్ అవుతాయి కదా.
అవి నాన్న ఇప్పుడు మీరు కంగారు అవ్వద్దు. ఓకే, యూ వెయిట్ ఫర్ సమ్ టైమ్, ఇట్ విల్ కమ్ ఇన్ సెకండ్ ఇయర్. Second year there is some two chapters will be there. One is liquid solutions. Okay, that time again same concept will come. So what are different type of solution, and then another heterogeneous system concept is there, that is surface chemistry. Surface chemistry is the second year topic. There, okay, will come heterogeneous system. Heterogeneous system means, you know, we are talking about homogeneous mixtures. No, that time we will discuss about heterogeneous systems. So we can call them as sols, aerosol, okay, aquasol, like a different type of sols. Sols means heterogeneous mixtures. Okay, so that concept will come there. But as of now, we are discussing stoichiometry. Okay, so just to give an idea about what is a solution, so we are discussing this one. So it is completely immaterial. So no need to think much about this one. We have only types of solution. That's it. Okay. We'll talk about the aerosols and all these things. Half of should not be discussed. That's my point. We have to discuss completely. We should not discuss half of. If anything we have started, we have to discuss everything.
ఓకే సార్.
Right. So now let's move on to this. What solid solutions? Solid solutions are again just like that. We have three type of solutions. We have three type of solutions, solid solutions also. Okay. In the three type of solutions, first one is gas in solid. Gas in solid. So how gas can be present in the solid state? How solid can be a solvent? Gas can be solute? Yes, it is possible. Gases are absorbed into the solids, like platinum, palladium absorbs the gases into it. So that is gas in solid type of solutions are possible. Liquid in solid type solutions, some gels are there. Liquid in solid type of solutions also there, and solid in solid. Okay, gold, you know, ornament gold, copper plus gold, ornamental gold, alloys or ornamental gold is the best example for solid in solid type of solution. So solution, generally everyone can have an idea, think that solution means it is only some liquid phase substance. So please ignore, please try to take it out from your mind that solution is not a liquid solution. So liquid solution, liquid phase solutions are one type of solution, that's it. Solution means a homogeneous mixture, that's it. Solution means homogeneous mixture. Okay, so gas in gas, for example, N2 plus O2 in the air, oxygen is mixed with nitrogen thoroughly. Nitrogen more amount, oxygen less amount, so you can take nitrogen as a solvent. Okay, liquid in gases, yes, kind of space, some like clouds. Actually clouds is a heterogeneous system, it's not a homogeneous system. But moisture, you know, moisture is actually converted into vapor state. But if very like if you go to the what you can call beach, if you go to the beach, you can observe kind of moisture droplets, very moisture droplets are around in the air. So that moisture droplets in the air is a liquid in gas type of solution. Okay, so still some kind of characteristic is there, heterogeneity is there, but still we can take them as a solution if wherever homogeneity is there. Solid in gas is some kind of dust particles, like powder type of particles spread across the air. We can call them as what? Solid and gas type of solutions. So totally, we have each type of solution is classified into 3 types. So totally, we are getting 9 types of solutions. We are getting totally how many? 9 types of solutions. Gas and gas, liquid and gas, solid and gas and liquid, liquid and liquid, solid and liquid. Okay. And gas and solid, liquid and solid, and solid and solid. Right? So these are the types of binary solutions. Types of binary solutions. Now, let's move on to the next one. Ternary solution.
సార్
Hmm.
ఒకసారి సాలిడ్ ఇన్ గ్యాస్ ఒకసారి ఎగ్జాంపుల్ చెప్తారా?
Solid in gas examples are yes, kind of dust particles in air. Dust particles.
సార్ గ్యాస్ ఇన్ గ్యాస్
Gas in gas is normal. It's N2 plus O2, CO2 plus O2. Any gas. It's a gas in gas is a perfect solution. Liquid and gases, solid gases are not perfect solutions. There is a some kind of heterogeneity. Whenever you can achieve homogeneity, okay, then we can call them as liquid gas or solid and gas.
yes
Sorry. Right. So let us move on to the next one. What's the next one? Ternary solution. Ternary solutions. Ternary solutions. Ternary solutions means contains 3 components. 3 components. Ternary solutions contains 3 components. 3 components means only one of them is solvent and remaining will be considered as a solutes. Two components will be considered as a solutes. For example, sugar, salt both dissolved into water. Very tasty. Sugar and salt both dissolved into water will give a solution. That is a ternary solution because there are 3 components in it. What are the 3 components? One is sugar, and the one is salt, and the one is water. So water is actually dissolving both salt and water. That's why we can call it as what? Ternary solution. Solvents, water can be taken as a solvent, and sugar and salt we can be taken as a solutes. Okay, 3 components are there. Okay, and the quaternary solution means 4 component, 1 solvent and 3 solutes, like that. Now, expression, that is what actually now we are entering into the stoichiometry concept. Expression of concentration of just 1 second, please. Okay, thank you. Expression of concentration of solutions. Expression of concentration of solutions. How to express the concentration of the solutions. This is what actually related to the stoichiometry. Okay, this one is related to the stoichiometry, expression of concentration of solutions. So we can express the concentration in two ways, quantitative and qualitative. Okay, we can express the concentration of the solution in two ways. Okay, one is qualitative and quantitative. Qualitative expression, quantitative expression. What is meant by qualitative? Qualitative, please take it as qualitative. Qualitative expression. Qualitative expression means dilute to concentrated. Dilute, concentrated. Okay. So to a more amount of water, very little amount of the whatever the solute you are adding. Okay, very little amount, we can call it as dilute. Concentrated means very high amount of solute. If you add, then we can call it as concentrated. So these dilute and concentrated are the two words are actually relative words. Relative words. Relative means dilute and ఏం చెప్తాం already ఉన్నది అంటే it's just a relative words. So this is a small line if I say, because it is bigger than this line. Okay. Now if I write like the line like this, then what I can say, this is also smaller one than when compared to this one. So this dilute to concentrated, small, big are the just relative words, or just what? Relative words. So there is no use, okay, there is no use with these kind of words. There is no use with this kind of words. So for the sake of some concepts, we are using this kind of words, but in generally, these dilute concentrated terms are not useful to express the concentration of the solution quantitatively. Quantitative expression of the concentration of the solution means exactly how much amount of the solute is present in how much amount of the solvent. So how much solvent is there, how much solute is there, exact amounts. If you are expressing, that is what we can call them as what? Quantitative expression of the solutions. So quantitatively we can express the solutions, concentration of the solutions in different ways. Okay. Quantitatively we can express concentration of solutions. Quantitatively we can express concentration of the solutions in the following ways. The following ways. First one, very important one, is molarity. Molarity. Second one, normality. Okay. Third one, molality. Fourth one, mole fraction. Or mole percent. And fifth one, percentage, weight by weight percentage. Sixth one, percentage, weight by volume percentage. Seventh one, percentage, volume by volume percentage. Volume by volume percentage. Okay. Eighth one, ppm, parts per million. Parts per million. Ninth one, ppb, parts per billion. Parts per billion, million, billion, trillion, like that. 10th one. Okay. Strength. Strength means grams per liter. Strength. Okay. Next, 11th one. Volume strength of. Volume strength. Volume strength of H2O2 solution. So it is only exclusively for H2O2 solution, hydrogen peroxide solution only. For this only we use that. And percentage composition of oleum. Percentage composition of oleum. So these are the, for oleum it is exclusive. For oleum it is exclusive. This is hydrogen peroxide exclusive. But for remaining all, these are the different methods or different ways to express the concentration of the solution quantitatively.
Hello, sir.
Tell me.
Sir, oleum formula ఏంటి?
H2S2O7.
Thank you, sir.
H2S2O7. Oleum. It's a mixture of H2SO4 plus SO3. SO3 dissolved into the H2SO4. SO3 is the solute, H2SO4 is the solvent.
సార్
SO3 plus H2SO4.
సార్ మీరు ఓలియం ఫార్ములా చెప్పారు కదా, అది చెప్పకూడదు కదా సార్ అలాగా.
ఏనన్నా?
అంటే అది ఫ్యూమింగ్ ఉండదు, SO3 అనేది గ్యాస్ కదా సార్, దానిపైన మిక్స్చర్ కదా సార్ అది.
ఏం చెప్పకూడదు అలాగా? మరి ఓలియం అంటే ఏం రాస్తావు?
అంటే H2SO4 ప్లస్ SO3 చెప్పాలి కదా సార్, అంటే అది ఫ్యూమింగ్ గ్యాస్ కదా సార్.
ఓలియం ఈస్ నథింగ్ బట్ H2S2. అలా అని చెప్పేసి నువ్వు H2S2O7 వస్తే ఓలియం అని పెట్టుకుంటే పోతుంది మార్క్స్. Oleum can be written as H2S2O3 only, H2S2O7. Okay, no problem. We can write as H2S2O7. It is nothing but a solution of SO3 in H2SO4. SO3 dissolved into H2SO4.
ఓకే సార్.
Okay, na? No issue, no problem. We can write as H2S2O7. In examination also they will give as H2S2O7 only. Okay.
ఓకే సార్.
So these are the various methods to express the concentration of the solution quantitatively. Okay. So I would like to go for the very first method, that is molarity. Okay, molarity, and then I will come back to the percentage of weight, volume, volume percentage, and I will continue as per the systematic procedure. Okay. So let us start molarity. Can I go?
Yes, sir.
Right. So molarity represented with capital M. Molarity represented with capital M. So definition is the number of moles of solute, the number of moles of solute, the number of moles of solute. Molarity is nothing but number of moles of solute only, a molarity. But presenting 1 liter solution. Present in 1 liter solution. The number of moles of solute present in 1 liter solution is called molarity at a given temperature. At a given temperature, because molarity can be changed with respect to the temperature. That's why we have to mention that some temperature. It's a formality, just okay. No need to worry about the temperature. Now, so it is molarity means nothing but in 1 liter solution, how many moles of solute is present? In 1 liter solution, how many moles of solute is present? That is called simply molarity. For example, 90 grams of glucose, 90 grams of glucose present in 2 liter solution. You take a glucose solution. When you take a glucose solution, how much solution is taken? 2 liter solution is taken. In that, how many grams of glucose is present? 90 grams. 90 grams of glucose is present in 2 liter solution. Okay, right? Now, what is the molarity? You know, the definition if you should follow first. Number of moles of solute present in 1 liter solution. So in 1 liter, how many moles are present? That calculation is nothing but what? Molarity. What is its molarity? So remaining people, please don't feel boring, because there are some people who didn't hear this concept previously, even in the lower classes, not even in the our initial phase of discussions of. Okay, that time we started off with this molarity, this in stoichiometry only. So just listen once again, nothing wrong in that. Okay. So first of all, we need to find the number of moles. Number of moles formula means what? Weight by gram molecular weight. So number of moles of solute is equal to weight of the solute, 90 grams given, gram molecular weight of glucose, C6H12O6. C6H12O6 gram molecular weight is equal to 180 grams. Gram molecular weight is 180 grams. So by 180 grams per mole. Gram molecular weight, always we have to use the units grams per mole, because every 1 mole mass is 180 grams. So 180 grams per mole is a gram molecular weight. Okay. So that is how much? 90 by 180 means 0.5 moles. 0.5 moles. So this 0.5 moles present in how much? 1 liter. So 1 liter solution contains 0.5 moles. As per the definition, 1 liter solution contain how many moles? As many as moles present of solute present in 1 liter solution is nothing but what? Molarity. So it is how much? 1 into 0.5 by 2. That is 0.25 moles per liter. What is that? Moles per liter. Every 1 liter solution contains 0.25, right? Of course, 2 liters contains 0.5 mole. 2 liters contains 0.5 mole. 1 liter contains how much? The number of moles of solute present is better word. Number of moles of solute present per 1 liter solution. In every 1 liter solution, how many moles of solute is present? That is called what? Molarity. Here 90 grams present in 2 liters. 90 grams means 0.5 moles. 0.5 moles present in 2 liters. Then how many moles of glucose is present in 1 liter? Yes, obviously 0.25 moles present in 1 liter. That is what we can call it as molarity. So use the formula now. Molarity formula is now we can write as molarity is equal to number of moles of solute right now what we are getting number of moles of solute by volume of solution in liters. What is that formula? Molarity, number of moles of solute by volume of the solution in liters. Right, that is only we have done here. Number of moles 0.5 moles. Okay, number of moles 0.5 moles. Volume 2 liters, so 0.25 moles per liter. So molarity is equal to number of moles of solute by volume of the solution in liters. Okay, so molarity is equal to number of moles. Number of moles we can calculate as weight by gram molecular weight of solute. Weight by gram molecular weight of solute will give number of moles of solute. Okay, into 1 by V. V must be in what? Liters. Volume of the solution must be in liters. Volume of the solution must be in liters. Or molarity is equal to weight by gram molecular weight of solute. What is W? W is the weight of solute. What is GMW? GMW is the gram molecular weight of the solute. Okay, into 1000 by volume of the solution in milliliters. Volume of the solution in milliliters. So whenever volume of the solution is given in milliliters, whenever volume of the solution is given in milliliters, okay, so 1000 by V you take, because when you are wanted to convert the milliliters into liters, you have to divide it with 1000. So when you are dividing with 1000, automatically it will go into numerator side. So when you take volume in liters, then 1 by V you take. When you take volume in milliliters, you take okay. When you take volume in liters, just 1 by right now 1 by V in liters. Volume you take in milliliters, then what you have to do? 1000 by V in milliliters. Next, this is a formula for calculation of molarity of the solution. So let us have few examples related to this. Okay, sorry. Participants only 135 members. Sir, Satyanam sir. Satyanam sir.
Sir, లేరు సార్.
సార్ లేరా?
లేరు సార్.
ఓకే, ఏం చేస్తావు తెలుసా?
చెప్పండి
ఇక్కడ
సార్.
మరదాన వివేక్ ఉంది కదా,
Yes,
ఓకే.
sir.
ఎక్కడ అంటే పార్టిసిపెంట్స్ వెళ్ళు, పార్టిసిపెంట్ లో
సార్.
మరదాన వివేక్ నుంచి
sir.
అక్కడ ఎవరైతే ఆడియో కనెక్ట్ అవ్వలేదు, ఓన్లీ జస్ట్ జాయిన్ అయ్యి ఉన్నారు, దే హావ్ నాట్ కనెక్టెడ్ దేర్ ఆడియో.
Yes, sir.
ఓకేనా? అవి స్క్రీన్ షాట్ చేసి నాకు కానీ సార్ కానీ పెట్టు.
సార్ అంటే ఎవరెవరు ఉన్నారో క్లాస్ లో వాళ్ళదే,
లేని వాళ్ళు,
లేని వాళ్ళు అంటే మైక్ లేనిది,
మైక్ లేని ఆడియో కనెక్ట్ అవ్వండి. అంటే మ్యూట్ లో ఉన్నారు కాదు, మ్యూట్ లో ఉన్నారంటే దే సంథింగ్ ఉన్నట్టే.
అవును సార్. ఎస్ సార్.
సో ఇక్కడ నుంచి ఇంకా అసలు ఆడియోనే కనెక్ట్ అవ్వలేదు. ఓకేనా?
తీసాను సార్, తీసాను.
అందరిని
తీస్తాను సార్.
ఓకే. Right. Next, let us have a question now. Okay. 16 grams of NaOH present in 16 grams of NaOH present in 600 ml solution. Find its molarity. Find its molarity. Main simple. What is the formula? Molarity is equal to weight by gram molecular weight of solute into 1000 by volume of the solution in milliliters, because volume is given in milliliters. Okay, therefore molarity is equal to weight given 16 grams, gram molecular weight of NaOH. NaOH is the solute for that solution. So you take 40 into 1000 by volume of the solution is taken how much? 600 ml. Okay. So these 3 zeros, these 3 zeros are cancelled. So 4 there. So 4 by 6, 2 by 3. 2 by 3 molar. So 0.66 molar. So very simple, weight by gram molecular weight of solute into 1000 by volume of the solution in milliliters. That is a formula for molarity. Note. Molarity depends on the temperature. Molarity of solution depends on temperature. Molarity of the solution depends on temperature. You know, molarity is inversely proportional to volume, but volume is directly proportional to temperature. Therefore, molarity is inversely proportional to temperature. So as temperature increases, volume increases. Volume increases means volume increases. This volume increases means what happens? The number of moles of solute present per 1 liter solution decreases. Volume increases means more volume. Solute amount same only, but volume increases means less number of moles will present in 1 liter solution. Therefore, as temperature increases, molarity decreases. So molarity is inversely proportional to temperature. As you are raising the temperature,
Sir?
molarity will be changed, but that is very, very less significant. Tell me.
సార్ అంటే మొలారిటీ అనేది ఇన్వర్స్లీ ప్రొపోర్షనల్ టు టెంపరేచర్ అన్నారు కదా సార్. అయితే అక్కడ మరి ఇది ఒక స్పెసిఫైడ్ అంటే ఒక స్పెసిఫైడ్ టెంపరేచర్ లో ఈ వాల్యూ వస్తుంది కదా సార్. మరి ఇంకేదైనా ఒక 500 degrees Celsius లో అయితే ఎలా సార్ చెప్తాం మామూలు?
చేంజ్ అవుతుంది, బట్ 500 degrees Celsius దగ్గర సొల్యూషన్ ఉండదు. మొత్తం అంతా ఏం
ఒక టెంపరేచర్ లో అయితే మరి ఎలా చేయాలి సార్?
అట్లా చెప్పలేము. అట్ ద టెంపరేచర్ వాట్ ఈస్ ద వాల్యూమ్ మీన్స్ వాట్ ఐ మీన్ టు సే ఇస్, if temperature is changed, there is a slight change in the volume. There is not much significance, but there is some change in the volume of the solution with respect to the temperature. So there will be a minute change in the molarity. There is not much significant or more. So it is for just examination purpose only, but not for practical purpose. In practical purpose, whatever the solution we have, it is at the room temperature, lab temperature, maximum 30-35 degrees Celsius temperature only. So practically there is not much difference, but conceptually, okay, normally in examination point of view, it is useful. As temperature increases, volume slightly increases. Therefore, number of moles of solution. How much volume change is obtained in the solution, if you know, then only you can say how much molarity change is obtained. So it's all depends on how the volume of the solution varied with respect to the temperature. But one thing is for sure, even it is 0.0001% is there, there is a change in the volume, but very less significant, but change in volume is there. But there is no such kind of questions that this at this temperature this much molarity, at that temperature how much molarity. There is no such kind of concept. Don't apply like that. Okay, 25 degrees Celsius molarity 2 molar, 50 degrees Celsius molarity 4 molar. Don't do like that. The variation of molarity is very, very less significant. Variation of molarity is less significant. Less significant with respect to temperature. Less significant doesn't mean that it is not varying. It is varying, okay, but very less. Next, because it is related to the volume. Next. Molarity is equal to number of moles of solute. Okay, by volume of solution in liters. So therefore, number of moles of solute is equal to molarity into volume in liters. Molarity into volume of the solution in liters, if you know that, then molarity into volume in liters will give the number of moles of solute. Number of moles of solute is equal to molarity into volume in liters. Molarity into volume in liters. 1 mole is equal to 1000 millimoles. Millimoles. M moles means millimoles. M mole means millimoles. 1 mole is equal to 1000 millimoles. Okay, 1000 millimoles. 1 liter is equal to 1000 milliliters. 1 liter is equal to 1000 milliliters. So therefore now number of millimoles of solute is equal to this molarity into volume in liters gives what? Molarity into volume in liters gives what? Number of moles. Number of moles is equal to 1000 millimoles. Okay. So if you want to convert the moles into millimoles, number of millimoles is equal to number of moles into 1000. Molarity into volume in liters multiply with 1000. Okay. Now number of millimoles of solute, number of millimoles of solute is equal to molarity into volume into milliliters. Are you okay with this one or not? Because volume in liters multiply with 1000, you will get volume in milliliters. Volume in milliliters. So number of millimoles is equal to molarity into volume in milliliters. Number of moles is equal to molarity into volume in liters. Millimoles, okay, molarity into volume in milliliters. Volume milliliters, millimoles. Volume liters, moles. So will you remember this one or not? Because this is the most important formula. Very simple. Multiply the molarity of the solution with its volume of the solution in liters. Volume, molarity, volume of the solution in liters. If you multiply, you will get number of moles of solute. Molarity multiply with volume in milliliters, you will get number of millimoles of the solute. Volume in milliliters, millimoles. Volume in liters, it's moles.
సార్ లీటర్స్ లో 1 వస్తుంది కదా సార్ ఏంటి ఇంటూ మొలారిటీ ఇంటూ వి ఇన్ లీటర్స్
ఏనన్నా దేనికి?
అది అంటే నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ మిల్లీమోల్స్.
Number of millimoles is equal to molarity into volume in milliliters.
అర్థమైంది.
వాల్యూమ్ మిల్లీలీటర్ లో తీసుకుంటే మొలారిటీతో మల్టిప్లై చేస్తే మిల్లీమోల్స్ వస్తుంది. వాల్యూమ్ లీటర్ లో తీసుకొని మొలారిటీతో మల్టిప్లై చేస్తే నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ మోల్స్ వస్తుంది. ఓకేనా? ఒకవేళ ఇన్ కేస్ number of moles is asking, number of moles of solute is asking, number of moles of solute is equal to molarity into volume in milliliters. Volume given in milliliters. Molarity also you know that. Molarity into volume in milliliters will give millimoles. But if you want moles, then what you need to do? Just divide with 1000. Number of moles of solute is equal to molarity into volume in milliliters. Volume of the solution is given in milliliters. Okay. Then molarity into volume in milliliters by 1000 will give number of moles of solute. For example, 0.02 molar HCl, 0.02 molar, okay, 250 milliliters of HCl, okay, is given. Find the number of moles of HCl in it. Find the number of moles of HCl in it. Find the number of moles of HCl in it. What's the formula for the number of moles of solute?
0.005, sir.
Number of moles of solute is equal to molarity 0.02 molar into volume 250 milliliters by 1000. When you divide with molarity in volume and by 1000, it will convert into liters. That's it. 250 milliliters by 1000, okay, will give 0.25 liters. Okay, so 2 into 25, 0.25 is 50, so 0.005. 0.005, 0.05.
0.5 only, sir.
50 కదా.
Sir, 254,000, sir. 254,000, sir. 0.005 will come, sir.
0.005 come. What moles? Moles. If he is asking millimoles, how many millimoles? Number of millimoles. How many? 0.005 into 1000 millimoles. Millimoles means what? Molarity into volume in milliliters. Molarity into volume in milliliters. That is 0.02 into 250 will give 5 millimoles. Next. Therefore, now dilution law. Dilution law. The number of moles or millimoles of solute. The number of moles or millimoles of solute remains same before and after dilution. Before and after dilution. The number of moles or millimoles of solute remains the same before and after dilution. Dilution. Dilution means it is just addition of water, addition of solvent, increasing in the volume without addition of solute. Increase in volume without addition of solute is nothing but dilution. So dilution means it can be done by adding water, or it can be done by adding another solution which does not contain the solute, same solute. Dilution means addition of solvent. Dilution means what? Addition of solvent or addition of another solution which does not contain same solute. Some other solute is there. For example, NaCl solution is there. What is that? NaCl solution. This is NaCl solution. It is 2 liters. Now here sugar solution is there. Sugar solution. It is 1 liter. This 1 liter sugar solution I am going to add into this 2 liter solution. Now volume become how much? 3 liters. Volume become 3 liters. So for this 2 liter sugar salt solution, to this 2 liter salt solution, it is nothing but dilution only. For this, all of you please listen carefully. For this 2 liter salt solution, addition of 1 liter of sugar is nothing but dilution. Because for the salt, okay, it is present in now 2 liters. So after addition of 1 liter of sugar, now the salt can be present in 3 liters. Are you getting my point or not? Very, very important point. When you are adding some other solution into this, which does not contain the same solute, is nothing but dilution for each of the solution. Yes, the sugar solution also get diluted because sugar solution volume become 3 liters, 1 liter become 3 liters. Salt solution volume also will become 2 liters become 3 liters. Okay, therefore it is dilution for both solutions. But we can consider whenever that both solution does not contain the same solute, different solutions are there. Okay, or directly if you add solvent, that is also kind of dilution only. Right, so during this dilution, the number of moles or number of millimoles of the solute remains constant, remains same only. So for example, have you written this part? If not, please complete it quickly. Right now, number of moles of solute N is equal to number of moles of solute N is equal to molarity into volume in liters. Molarity into volume in liters. Okay. So as number of moles of solute, so in dilution, okay, number of moles of solute before dilution, after dilution same. So M1 V1 is equal to M2 V2. So what is this M1 V1 and what is this M2 V2? So this is before dilution, and this one is after dilution, before dilution and after dilution. After dilution molarity M2, before dilution molarity M1, after dilution volume V2, before dilution volume V1. Volume of water added or other solution is added, is equal to final volume minus initial volume, is equal to final volume minus initial volume. Final volume minus initial volume. What is M1 V1? Please respond someone. What is M1 V1?
Moles before dilution, sir. The number of moles before dilution.
Yeah, very good. Number of moles of solute before dilution is M1V1. M2V2.
The number of moles of solute after dilution.
After dilution. So M1V1 multiply molarity into volume. If you multiply, you will get molar number of moles only. Molarity into volume, you multiply, you will get number of moles. Before dilution, after dilution, number of moles of solute remains same only. Okay. So let us take an example. What is that? A 0.1 molar H2SO4 is diluted. Okay. We have 200 milliliters. 0.1 molar, 200 milliliters of H2SO4 is diluted. Okay, by diluted to 800 milliliters by adding water, by addition of water. Find the final concentration. Find the final concentration, final molarity. Find the final concentration. So what we need to do? H2SO4 before dilution, after dilution, amount of H2SO4 present in the cell.
0.025.
So M1V1 is equal to M2V2. 0.1 into volume is 200. Okay, then it is M2 into diluted to 800 ml. So final volume is 800 ml. So M2 is equal to 0.1 into 200 by 800. Okay, na? So n times 4 times 0.1 by 4. Okay,
0.025, sir.
0.025. Okay, 0.025 molar. Find the volume of water added. How much water is added? Volume of water added. 600 ml. 600 ml. 800 minus 200 is 600 ml. So that is the volume of water added for the dilution. Water added for the dilution. Next question. 4 grams of NaOH is added to 96 grams of So 4 grams of NaOH is added
Sir,
into
sir, 200 ml వాటర్ కి 600 యాడ్ చేస్తే అంటే అది 600 ml ఇనిషియల్ వాల్యూమ్ కదా సార్.
no, initial volume.
అంటే ఆ ml కి 200 ml యాడ్ చేస్తే అప్పుడు 800 వచ్చింది కదా సార్.
200 ml solution ki 600 ml water add chesanu.
అంటే
So read the question. 0.1 molar 200 ml H2SO4 solution, okay, is diluted to 800 ml by addition of water. Already 200 ml solution is there. You are adding 600 ml of water, then it become 800 ml.
అంటే యాడింగ్ 200 ml అనుకుంటా.
Yeah, no. It's clearly written now. 200 ml H2SO4 solution is taken. Okay, diluted to 800 ml by addition of water. How much water should be added to make it 800 ml?
600.
The volume of water added is 600 ml.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so a 4 grams of NaOH is added into 500 ml. Added అనేది దానికంటే present అంటే మొత్తం 4 grams of NaOH present in 500 ml solution. Okay. Now 50 ml of this solution. 50 ml of the solution is taken. 50 ml of the solution is taken and made to 400 ml by dilution. Find the final concentration of solution. 4 grams of NaOH present in 500 ml solution. Okay, now 50 ml of the solution is taken out and made into 400 ml by addition of 400 ml by dilution. Find the final concentration of solution. Final concentration of the solution. Final concentration of the solution. First, initially molarity is equal to weight by gram molecular weight into 1000 by volume of the solution in milliliters. Okay, so it is 2 times. It is
0.025.
2 by 10 means 0.2. Okay, first one 0.2 molar. Now a 50 ml of the solution is taken out from it. Now whatever the volume of the solution is taken out, 50 ml solution is taken out, the 50 ml solution concentration is how much? It is actually 500 ml, whose concentration is 0.2 molar. Now from this a 50 ml is taken out. How much it is? 50 ml. How much this one? It is 500 ml. Now tell me the concentration of the 50 ml solution I've taken out. What is the concentration of the 50 ml solution? Tell me.
0.2.
0.2 only. Very good. 0.2. So this solution concentration 0.2 molar, na? So even if you take small this one or this one or this one, total any part of the solution, any volume of the solution in this one is same concentration only, 0.2 molar. So whatever the 50 ml you have taken out from it, that concentration also 0.2 molar. ఇప్పుడు షుగర్ సొల్యూషన్ తయారు చేస్తున్నాం, ఇంటి దగ్గర షుగర్ వేసి వాటర్ షుగర్ చేస్తున్నాం. Even if you take a spoon of the water solution, or if you take water solution, the solution concentration means taste is same only. Okay, so therefore similarly here, if it is a 500 ml solution whose concentration is 0.2 molar, from that a 50 ml solution is have taken out, the 50 ml solution concentration is also okay, how much? 0.2 molar only. Now this 50 ml solution, okay, is taken into another beaker This 50 ml solution is taken into another beaker. To this 50 ml, okay, is made up to what? 400 ml. Made up to 400 ml means what? Made up to 400 ml means what? 300 ml water is added to this. Then finally it become how much? 400 ml. Okay, so this 50 ml is diluted to 400 ml. So M1 you take it as 0.2 molar. V1 you have to take it as 50 ml, not take this what you are making 500 ml, because the 500 ml is not diluted. 50 ml is getting diluted, from which you have taken a 50 ml. That 50 ml you are doing dilution. So final concentration M2 you don't know, but final volume you know, the 50 ml is made to 400 ml. Okay, so do the dilution law. M1 V1 is equal to M2 V2. M1 is 0.2, V1 is 50 is equal to M2, we don't know, V2 is 400. Okay, it is how many times? 8 times. So M2 is equal to 0.2 by 8.
So 0.025.
0.025 molar. Okay, so slowly we can increase the level of the questions, level of the concept gradually. Okay, in the tomorrow's class, and normality and remaining things also we will discuss in tomorrow's class. Probably I expect by tomorrow it will be get better. So we'll take on the class on board. Okay, so see you tomorrow.